Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be recapping the Washington Commanders training camp practice from today, and a lot happened. So we're going to talk about the injuries because there's a lot of injury updates today, and then also talk about Carson Wentz absolutely balling out and Antonio Gibson continuing to work on special teams, this time as a kick returner. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Also hit that like button and those notifications, and check out real-time fantasy sports, link in the description. All right, so let's start with the injuries because it's starting to get a little bit concerning. So the top three guards, Trey Turner, Andrew Norwell, and Wes Schweitzer, were all out today, which led to Sam Cosmi kicking inside and Cornelius Lucas at right tackle. So he said this is about getting through practice. There's something Cosmi has more potential at guard. So my opinion, starting to get really concerned about the injuries. I mean, Trey Turner hasn't practiced at all during training camp, and like they say he's closer, but I mean, we're less than a month away from the start of the season, so who knows on him. Andrew Norwell, I'm not sure what happened with him. Last couple of days, I believe he's been out, and then Wes Schweitzer had a hip injury, and I think they said they're concerned about that. So I'm hoping, I feel like Andrew Norwell is like the least concerning out of the three, and then Trey Turner is more of a question mark, and Wes Schweitzer is also kind of a question mark as well. So we don't know, but yeah, it might lead to Sam Cosmi playing inside and Lucas at right tackle, which you don't want. Sam Cosmi is one of your better linemen. You want him at tackle, and then Trey Turner, Andrew Norwell, or even Wes Schweitzer starting. You don't want all those guys hurt, and I don't know, man. So far, a lot of injuries in camp, and not a lot of the guys are recovering. And I'm not going to put that on the your training staff and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's a little bit concerning to me, similar to what we had last year with a lot of injuries, and looked like they mismanaged some injuries with Curtis Samuel. And I'm not going that far yet. We don't know. It's so super early, but just a thought right there. And then you look at the tight end room. Curtis Hodges joins John Bates and Cole Turner on the side field. So your four of your top five tight ends are out. Four of your top five tight ends are out. And honestly, if you count Sammis Reyes, 5 out of your top 6 tight ends are out, which is just absolutely insane. So with Logan Thomas, Curtis Hodges, John Bates, Cole Turner, and if you're counting Sammis Reyes, like that is really concerning. John Bates has been injured for about 3 weeks maybe now. He's been in and out of the lineup in terms of coming back to practice for a little bit, but still he's hurt. Cole Turner, hamstring injury. I'm the least concerned with Cole Turner. I feel like he'll be fine. They're just easing him back. That's an injury you can't come back really quickly from, because you can re-injure it, and that'll have you out for much longer. So I think he'll be fine. But the other guys, I honestly have no idea. And Curtis Hodges, I mean, he'll probably be fine. He just got on the side field today, but that is just something to keep in mind right there. So hopefully these injuries start to go away soon and we start getting guys back, but so far it is not looking good. Like when you have so many injuries at a specific position, or two positions now with guard and tight end, it really hurts you. But at least they have, the only good thing is that those positions they have depth at, but no team has 4 or 5 really good guards, or tight ends. So it's just hard. So day 17, Matthew Paris here, just some different recaps right here. We talked about the tight ends, all those guys working on the side field. They were doing some things before practice like footwork, but that's really it. I didn't show any clips today, but I just it is what it is. But it's been a while since camp started. You guys have already seen a bunch of clips. If there's an insane clip out there, I'll show it. But there really wasn't any today. You guys can see right there the running backs doing some drills, and Brian Robinson is leading the running backs in drills. So I mean, that is definitely interesting for sure. And this preseason game is going to be very telling about who is the true RB1. I think that they're going to give the first team reps to Brian Robinson, because they've been doing it all of practice. I think they're going to do it not only to send a message to Gibson, but just to see again what Robinson can do with the first team and what Gibson does with the second team. So I think that's what they're going to do. But if Gibson somehow fumbles with the second team, then it's pretty much done. He's going to be RB2. And then with Brian Robinson, if he does what he did last week, his stock's just going to continue to go up. Somehow I got him super late in my fantasy league. Was super excited about that. But yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit with the Gibson stuff. And then Sam Cosmi is doing some guard work, and then Antonio Gibson was yesterday he was doing some punt team stuff. I don't think he was returning. Today he was doing some kick return drills, or he was the kick returner actually. So that is definitely something interesting. They said, or take two, Antonio Gibson's now with the kick returners in practice. Rivera noted Gibson returning kicks at Memphis. Washington sorting through options. And honestly, I think that, let's say you keep Dax Milne, right? I think he's a perfect punt returner, but maybe he's not the best kick returner. And if you keep Gibson, maybe you can have him as your kick returner. The only thing is, if he struggled fumbling the ball as a running back, maybe he'll do the same thing as a returner, and you don't want that, especially inside your own 20, because that's where you're going to be returning from every single time. You definitely do not want any fumbles there. And yeah, I mean, maybe he would struggle with that, but I think, you saw that explosiveness at Memphis at the kick returning spot. He really helped the offense. I know he had at least one touchdown, maybe a couple in his junior year there, or whatever his last year was there. He played really well as the kick returner. So I like that they're exploring the options. And honestly, I want to see this in a game. Give Gibson a couple carries or a couple reps as a kick returner, because if he's not going to be RB1, then let him be, the top kick returner and see what he can do there. Yeah, I think this preseason game on Saturday is going to be very, very important for Antonio Gibson. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how this all plays out over the next few weeks, because Gibson's stock coming in pretty high, and then it just dipped really hard after that fumble, and also with Brian Robinson playing pretty well. So let's see, we talked about it earlier, or this is the first thing there. Carson Wentz had a gorgeous bomb to Jahan Dotson for a touchdown in 11v11, so he's been looking really good. And then Pete Haley quote tweeted that and said, "Span about 40 yards, one of Wentz's better deep balls of all camp, if not his best." Next play, he sidearmed a heater to Diami on a slant. I honestly think Wentz has been pretty good. I went only 3 days, but the 3 days I went, Wentz didn't look amazing, but he looked like a 7 out of 10. He looked pretty solid for the most part. Had one major mistake the time I was there, and he had a fumble. Besides that, he looked really solid, really sharp. And for the most part, I've heard good things about him in camp the last few days. There was a couple days, maybe a week to 10 days ago, where okay, he was struggling a little bit with accuracy. That's what we were told. But it seems like he's been way better as of late, and he looked good in the preseason game as well. So I'm feeling good about Wentz going into the season, or I don't know. I'm excited to see what he can do, and I'm definitely feeling better than I was maybe 10 days ago. And I feel like he's going to be much better than Taylor Heineke for sure. And yeah, he continues to go to Jahan Dotson. I think Jahan Dotson's going to have a really good season for the Commanders. And I've heard some actually good things about De'Ami Brown the last couple days as well. So good to see him making some plays as well, because if someone gets hurt, hopefully not, knock on wood, hopefully he can provide a spark off the bench, him, Cam Sims, and maybe Dax Milne as well. So let's go play by play here. So let's see, this is from Zach Selby, again, shout out to him. And I think this might be the last practice that fans can go to, or we'll see, but Jahan Dotson caught a beautiful pass from Wentz for about a 45-yard touchdown. Talked about that earlier. And he also said Cam Sims just made an incredible touchdown grab to finish up 2-minute drills. Nice way to end the day. So not too many plays that they're recapping, and then a couple, media things. And I'll actually show you guys this, a couple clips because the video is a little shorter. But he says, Ron Rivera addressing the media said Benjamin St. Juste has adjusted very well to his new position. He's a bright player who had a good grasp. Who has a good grasp on the concept. So, had some hamstring tightness the last game, so he missed that. So I'm excited to see what he can do this week, and maybe play a couple, a series or two, because, when Danny Johnson, I felt like really hurt the defense last time. So here's a play from Wentz to Cam Sims. Nice catch by Cam Sims right there. I mean, he's a big body. If, they have some injuries at the tight end position, I think Cam Sims will be active every day on game day because he's their big receiver. But if not, Cole Turner could provide some of what Cam Sims does, just maybe not as good of a route runner, because he is more of a tight end than a receiver. But still, that is something to keep in mind. Brian Robinson going through running back drills. There you go. RB1 for now. RB1 for now. We'll see if it changes in the future. But right now, it looks like he's RB1. But Gibson can change that. Gibson can change that for sure. But he's going to have to look pretty much perfect the rest of the way if he wants to If he wants to be RB1, he cannot fumble. He has to look good in the second team reps that he's going to get this week in the preseason. I believe that's what he's going to get, the second team reps. And let's say he looks great in that and Robinson looks okay, then maybe in the next game, if those two play, then maybe they'll split the first team reps and see how it goes from there. Gibson needs to have a really, really good rest of camp if he wants to make, or not, he's going to make the roster, but if he wants to be RB1. So that is something to keep in mind. I think yesterday was a kind of a shock for him. He was doing punt team drills. He was working with the first, second, and third team. Like, that's just not what he usually does. But even before the fumble, though, they were giving Brian Robinson some first team reps. So it's not just the fumble that, brought Gibson stock down. Like, before that, they still felt like Robinson could take some first team reps. So, even if Gibson looks great, and he's RB1 to start the season, like, it might be like a 60-40 split for Gibson to Robinson. But right now, it's looking like it's probably going to be a 60-40 for Robinson. But obviously, things can change. We're a little less than a month away from the season. So, of course, things can change. But right now, it looks like Robinson has that lead or that grasp on the RB1 position. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.